everybody, Jim from Jim's Coleus. So I hope you enjoyed those shorts I did yesterday on the Jiffy pod system. Trying to make it easy, step by step, but of course I want to do a video on how things are going with my trays, and I'm going to spread them out over. I'm doing 2 this weekend, and I'll probably do 2 next week. Spread one out, maybe do one on Thursday and then the following Monday or so. So I have 4 trays, and that way I don't go overwhelmed. But that's just me. So when you grow 400 or 500 Coleus and it's just me, it's not like I have a staff or I have 6 people helping me. It could get a little overwhelming. I do have a system down, but by spreading my trays out makes it easier for me, so I don't have everything coming due at the same time. When I say due, the germinations, the true leaves, true colors coming in, the separating, I go through the germinations, see which ones look the strongest, weeding them out and so forth, and then later on when they start to grow, separating and potting them and trimming them and so forth. So I don't have to do all 500 at once. I kind of pace myself out, and then by May and June everything starts to catch up pretty much, and we'll be at the farmer's market before we know it. So all right, so real quick, let's go take a look at the tray I'm doing now and my greenhouse and so forth, and just some of the tools that I use that I briefly showed on my shorts, and follow along. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me here on YouTube, comments, or on Instagram. I'm here to help you, and we're gonna have a lot of fun this year. Lots of beautiful Coleus. I have quite a few new varieties this year, and a lot of my favorites that just never disappoint. People love them, like the Kong Reds and the Wizard Rose. Beautiful Coleus. They really do. The Vid Jitters and so forth. So again, head over to Jim's Coleus. I have about 10 packs of seeds left. A lot of beautiful varieties that you're not going to find in stores. So head over to Jim's Coleus on eBay, get your Coleus seeds just in time to start and follow along here at Jim's Coleus. Okay, so once again, about 10 packs of seeds left. So head over to Jim's Coleus on eBay. You'll get a pack like this, bubble mailer, up to, I think I have about 7 varieties included, plus a couple of free gifts, and you get me. You get my advice anytime you need help. Just shoot me a text. I'll get back to you within 24 hours in general. I'm pretty good at it. I take pride in that, making sure that I answer everybody's comments and questions. I may miss them, a few, but any questions, just shoot me a text, either here on YouTube in the comment section or on Instagram throughout the season if you have any questions on how to grow Coleus. Okay, so I did a 72 yesterday, and this is a 50. Now, this is just how I do it. Again, once you add your warm water, they give you the directions with these. This took a little bit less than 10 cups of warm water, so I put like 8 in first. Made sure they all absorbed it, and then I kind of went from there and then adjusted. Some of them needed a little more water than others, but it's always good to be a little conservative with your water if you're not sure. But again, the instructions on these Jiffy trays are excellent, and they're pretty spot on. So it's generally about 10 cups of water. This tray here took about 10 cups of warm water, and they expand. And then you rip open each of these pods, just tear the netting away. Just make sure you tear the netting away and give yourself a nice palette, nice plate. Fluff. I have this little mini fork, this little shrimp fork, and what I do is I fluff the soil. And that's really good, because once you drop your Coleus seeds, and here again, I use these white paper plates. When you purchase Coleus seeds from me, you'll get them in these little Ziploc baggies. I get most of the seed chaff out. 90%. Some of them, there's more seed chaff than others. It's very difficult. It's time consuming, but you can tell once you empty the content of these Ziploc baggies onto a white paper plate, you can see the round Coleus seeds and some of the chaff. You could differentiate that and pick out your Coleus seeds from there. So white paper plate, that's the system I use. You can, depending on how many, when you're doing 400 or 500 Coleus, you need a system, otherwise you go mad. And this is a long time consuming thing. I take several breaks during the day, but it takes me about, honestly, yesterday it took me all day, 10 hours. I took a few breaks, I went out, got some air. It takes a lot of time when you're doing this many Coleus seeds. Okay, now again, this is my system that I've done over the years. If you look at some of my shorts, there were a few Coleus seeds that I purchased from Swallowtail Garden Seeds online, and there's a few of their seeds that they sell, their Coleus seeds, that are coated with a white, sort of like a white coating. I don't know if it's a fertilizer, but it makes it really easy to pick up the seeds with your fingers, and when you drop them onto the pod, you can see where your seeds are. But these tiny black ones are more difficult. But if you're doing a lot of Coleus like I am, I don't really get too upset. I try to keep it at 5 or 6 seeds at most per pod, and then from there I will separate later on when the germinations, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but once the germinations come in, that's like sort of overseeding. Once the germinations come in, if I have 6 seedlings coming in and 2 of them are runts or look straggly or don't look too healthy, I'll weed those out. So I overseed my pods because I do grow so many, and I try to keep the cream of the crop. So that's just my way. You could apply that too if you buy one of the little 12 count Jiffy pods, or if you're just doing 36 pods, you can apply this to that also. Here I have a little cup of moist paper towel. I'll just dip my finger in it, get it slightly damp, locate the 4 or 5 Coleus seeds that I like, dip them on my finger. For purpose of the video, I didn't really do it, but I'll dip my finger in there, and then I'll find the pod, and I will sprinkle the Coleus seeds on top of the pod. Very important, again, I'm going to say this again, Coleus seeds do not get buried. They need to be dropped on top of a pre-moistened pod. So think of the pod, if you're using seed starter mix, or you have a pot with potting soil, you can do that too. Think of this pod as just a smaller pot. Just think of that in those terms. It's just a medium. It's just it's like buying a car. It's like driving in a Volkswagen. It's a Volkswagen, or it's a Datsun, or a Nissan. I'm just dating myself with the Datsun. But you see where I'm going. If you're using seed starter mix, same thing. Just drop your Coleus seeds on top. But seed starter mix or potting mixture, you want to pre-moisten the soil first, just like these. Pre-moisten the soil before you start planting your Coleus seeds. Because if you put your Coleus seeds down and then you pour water over them, they're going to get washed out, and who knows where they're at. So pre-moisten your seed starter mix. Don't saturate it. Just pre-moisten it, let it run through, let it sit for half an hour, whatever, 25 minutes, depending on the size pot. Let it set. You know it's pre-moistened. Fluff it a little bit. Drop your Coleus seeds on top. Find out, all right, so you did 5, say you did 4 or 5 Coleus seeds, or 6, depending on the pot. Just take a spoon or your finger and gently press the seeds into the soil. What that does is it anchors the seeds without covering them. The Coleus seeds need light to germinate. They need light, moisture, and heat to germinate, and they won't get the light if you bury them under the soil. That's the number one reason why people's Coleus seeds fail, because they they don't really pay attention or they don't read the directions. That's the number one reason most people fail at everything, is because they don't read the direction. So, not to lecture you, but anyway, drop your seeds on top of the soil, press them in, and then move on to your next pod or pot, and so forth. Okay, so you can see here, this is just my system that I've been using for years. These are the LED, these are full spectrum LED grow lights. Got them on Amazon. There's tons of these. There's so many different brands. Make sure that they're full spectrum grow lights. Most of them are. They should say it, but make sure that it says full spectrum LED grow lights. They're very safe. Look, it's right up against the plastic. No heat, or very, very, very little bit of heat, but very, very safe, very energy efficient, very effective. And then I have this grow light, same thing. These are adjustable grow lights. If you saw my earlier videos, I did a little a spot on these. These are timer, adjustable arms, and they are really effective. And I'm blasting these seeds with grow light, and I keep these on 24 hours a day right now. So when you're using these grow lights, 24/7 until your plants start to establish themselves, until after they germinate. Again, I don't want to make this too difficult. One at a time. I'm going to be doing other videos on it, but you keep these grow lights on 24/7. Keep the tray domes on, and you can see here how it's just filled with moisture. That's all the water evaporating from the pods. I would say, based on my experience, these will start to germinate in about 3 or 4 days. And I have on the bottom, I have the, can't really see it, I have the heat mat. So the heat mat, the greenhouse, and the LED light, you got heat, moisture, and light, the 3 things that Coleus seeds need. And I'm blasting them with all of it, and that's why 99% of the time I get my seeds germinated within 3 days. So check back. I'll do a short once they start to germinate, and then I'll give you the next step. It's real simple. Don't want to make it into rocket science. It's not. It's just a lot of fun. And once you do this a few years, it's going to be nothing. It's going to be like riding a bicycle. You're doing 3 or 4 things at once. You don't even realize it. Very, very simple. And here's my next shelf. And this grow light is not on. But again, these are your LED grow light. That's what they look like. Again, they're adjustable arms. Get these on Amazon. If you're not sure and you really interested, I'll send you a link on this particular one. They may not sell this one on Amazon anymore, but there are different ones. Or you can go to your local Home Depot, Lowe's, or nursery. They do have them. I've always purchased them from Amazon. They got a large variety of them, but these are really, really effective. So once this tray that I'm doing now is done today, I'll put it in here. Here's another tray for, that's next week, and that'll go on the bottom. So we got this other grow light that'll be hooked up. I already have the heat mat under there ready to go. So heat mats, again, light, warmth, and moisture. The 3 things you need to successfully grow your Coleus seeds, to get your Coleus seeds to germinate within 3 or 4 days. And before we close, just wanted to shoot out, just wanted to show you my overwintered Coleus and my rootings, cuttings, rootings. This Jitters, this beautiful Wizard Rose Jitters, is really, really doing very well. It's still pretty vibrant because this window gets such great light. It's southeast facing, so they're thin. They don't grow as fast. They thinned out a little bit. They're not quite as vibrant, although they look very vibrant. it still does really well. It's doing really, really well here. I can't wait to get this into a larger pot. And I got a Saturn rings here, and guess what? Look at that. I got a seed stalk coming in. So I'm letting that grow because I love Saturn rings. I did order some from Rosie Dawn Gardens. So if you're not sure, head over to Rosie Dawn Gardens on the internet, and you can get live Saturn's rings plugs and grow them from them. They have a great selection of Coleus, live Coleus plugs that they can send you. But I like growing my own stuff. But I always give them business because they're wonderful people, and they have so many more Coleus than I could ever want, that I could ever wish to grow. But anyway, here we are. Got this beautiful Coleus seed stalk growing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to pollinate it myself. You can do that. This is like a bug, no different than an insect coming by. And I'm just going to gently brush. This is a very, very fine brush. And I'm just going to go by each petal, and I'm going to kind of agitate the petal. And that actually pollinates. And I won't get into technical words or anything like that and so forth, but the pistils and so forth. For you horticulturalists, you know what I'm talking about, right? Right, Sherry? So I just do this every once in a while. I'm waiting for the rest of them to come out, and that actually helps pollinate the Coleus seeds. Isn't that neat? So anyway, that looks really, really nice, and the rest of my rootings are excellent. They're just doing fabulously. Changing the water every week or so. I'm getting busy, so I try my best. I keep the water can here. If I'm busy, I'll just add some water. They get thirsty, some of these. So Wizard Rose here, hanging in there. I didn't expect this to live, folks. This is it doesn't look great, but it's alive. But they're very, very temperamental. So I was very happy. And actually that means this is a very strong plant. So I'm really, really excited to get this thing in the pot in the next few months. And there's a couple others, like a Christmas candy mosaic. A couple of other rootings that my friend Sherry up in Canada sent me. Live plugs, sent them a couple of months ago. They're still doing real, real well. So, and of course my clementine tree. I lost the two little blooms. It did have little fruit developing, but I lost it. But that's not unusual. It's starting to lose some. It lost a lot of leaves, but I'm getting leaf growth, which means it's doing fine. It's just the first year, but I am getting leaf growth. So we'll give it some more time. It takes a few years sometimes. So lots of patience here. All right, everybody. So I hope you enjoyed this video of of how to plant Coleus seeds. So again, I use the Jiffy pot system. You could apply the same principles to however you want to plant your Coleus seeds. Remember, Coleus seeds have to be planted on top of the soil. I know there's some people who leave comments, and that's fine. That I repeat myself too much, or there's too much chatter and so forth. My job here is to teach you, and one of the ways I use is repetition. So if you follow along Jim's Holiest of Coleus and you watch enough of my videos, the important points that I know that you need to know, I will repeat over and over and over. And it's just like riding a bike for the mind. You'll remember the important points, right? Absolutely. So, all right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Any questions, of course, comments below or on my Instagram. I'm always available for you guys and gals. Thank you very much. Shout out to Sherry. God bless you. God bless Coconut, my girl. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching Jim's Holiest of Coleus.